had a proper chance to take that fight against Metal Esports and potentially come out on top as well.
Dummy.
If they would have got their hands on this Rich, things could have been so much better. But for Hero Extreme Godlike, it's a chance to grab a massive game. And if they lose out on this chance, I don't know what's going to help them anymore. They do have a decent bit of placement points, though. All the 4 players still on the cards. Metal Esports lost out an aimbot a while ago, but Termi's the only man standing now. And Termi definitely can't feel all of that pressure. But soon Termi will need to leave that comfort zone and move out in the open, and that's where Termi will catch a lot of hurt.
I've been absolutely loving the position of Mighty Los Hermanos. Yes, they're in the dip. Yes, there could be some nade parades coming in from Godlike. But now they've got a very solid opportunity to stop the members of Genesis as they will try to make that bounce. But the big thing is, this means Godlike can go for the third party and they will get the check-in. And as the nade parade goes, and if Hunter falls, Genesis will lose their main fight.
But Genesis just backing away from that, Rich.
They will have to force this fight either way, as I've got no clue why they're backing off.
Let's see, though. You never know. Maybe Genesis Esports is trying to pave a good pathway.
There is none.
If Mighty Los Hermanos end up locking horns with Hero Extreme Godlike, then things can be better. And Hero Extreme Godlike, for that to happen, they need to be impatient. So let's see if Hero Extreme Godlike is really impatient enough. If Hero Extreme Godlike messes up, Genesis gets a second chance to life. Hunters is taken down extremely low. Admino's just waiting for the right moment. He's waiting for someone to peek out from that angle. But no one from Genesis is doing so. They're playing a picture-perfect game so far. Zap up top, around the windows. Admino trying to constantly peek out from this window as well. He wants to dish out a bit of that damage to the players of Genesis Esports. That's the only team that can stop Hero Extreme Godlike in their tracks. Mighty Los Hermanos spotting out the players of Genesis Esports, and now that man Yash, he's trapped. Even the Blue's going to start chipping out a lot of damage. He's got nowhere to go. Mighty Los Hermanos ready with the nades, primed. Termi's able to find that crucial lock as Gravity gets knocked out.
Oh,
Genesis Esports, they're getting bombarded from all the different angles. There's no way they can make it alive now. The Blue's on the move. Genesis forced to make a run. Where can they go? They've got nowhere to go. Blue is shutting down Genesis Esports. They're like a feast waiting to be grabbed by everyone. And even Metal Esports is now taking advantage of that. Termi able to survive in the top 2. That is insane if you think about it. But you've still got a team like Mighty Los Hermanos that is alive. And I'm pretty sure Termi is going to try to keep his position anonymous, but no, his position is now known.
Yeah.
And Hero Extreme Godlike, they're going to try to isolate this duel first.
They have to do that right now. They've got to finish off Termi. And the first aid! They could not apply it on time, but it's absolutely fine, all right. Still going to try and survive, though, but the nade from Jonathan will finally do its job. It's a 4v4 battle, and I love what Mighty has done. A smoke ball up in front of them as Godlike will make the bounce.
Godlike, yes, they definitely are getting impatient, but even Mighty Los Hermanos, they're getting pushed up by the zone. Getting pushed outside of their comfort zone constantly, and Mighty Los Hermanos now with just a 2-man squad. Can they really make a bounce back in the fight?
What a nade.
With just 2 players standing, Hero Extreme Godlike, they've got the man advantage and dismantling Mighty Los Hermanos. Hero Extreme Godlike, they start things off with a massive bag. It's a start for a massive comeback. But still, the task is way too far away. Oh my god. Hero Extreme Godlike has kicked things off with a chicken dinner. But the amount of points they've got, it's not enough to keep them around the top dogs. They're still going to be in the latter half.
It's a fight against a giant, and they've finally managed to scratch him. But it's as you mentioned, the wound is not deep enough for them to try and inflict anything. They're going to be brushing it off instantly right now, as after such a long time in the grand finals, they find something. But here's the thing, at least they find something. And also the fact that the top teams, they eventually lost out. That means the middle pack has got the opportunity to close in the gap.
Slow and steady moves, buddy. Slow and steady moves. But the main problem is now they've only got 3 games to make that comeback. Which sounds horrible, to be honest. Hero Extreme Godlike, if they would have played the same way in day 1 and day 2, well, we might have just seen them around the top dogs already. We might have just seen them around the top 3. They woke up late, but yes, at least they woke up, so that's a good thing. If Hero Extreme Godlike gets a second chicken dinner in the upcoming map, maybe they still have a chance to be the champions. But for now, let's move on to the stage with a quick interview.
You have heard this. Johnny.
Yes, Papa.
Losing hope?
No, बिल्कुल नहीं.
Dude, chicken dinner on day 3. You were 16th on the leaderboard. Johnny, I've been talking to people. हमने messages भी पढ़े हैं. हम जहाँ पे हैं वहाँ अरीना के बाहर भी बहुत सारे fans जो हैं.
Team Godlike out front now. It is the players of Team Orangutan who have been taken down from the moving vehicle. Atanki has been eliminated, but wait a second, Simba Esports also doing a third party as Nakul has been knocked out. Aiku Soul, they need to pick their battles very carefully at this point.
Yeah, Soul's taken a lot of those fights, and that's also giving their position away in the elimination feed. And soon there's going to be a lot of teams attracted towards Soul because they know Soul stands a chance to be the champion. And here comes Metal Esports with a third party. This is what I'm talking about. But Metal Esports, Termi, he gets stopped in tracks. A few utilities tossed even from the back lines. Everyone wants to take the advantage. Everyone knows where Soul's positioned. And just like that, even they've been eliminated from the game. What just happened? Upsets after upsets. Ladies and gentlemen, another heartbreaking report for you guys. Even Soul will not be your champions for the BGMI Season 4. Just a selected few teams with a chance now. K9 Esports, Sinway, and Revenant X Park.
With Aiku Soul and True Rippers being eliminated, this opens a big window for the players of RNTX and Sinway Esports to catapult themselves at least for the podium finish. Just 10-point difference is what Sinway is having between Aiku Soul and themselves. And 12-point difference between RNTX and Aiku Soul. If either of them get a winner-winner chicken dinner, there's a very high chance that they can catapult themselves. Even lift the trophy if they go for the aggressive stance and get extra finish points as well. But Sinway Esports, they have got the entire control of Siverny. All the 4 players alive. It's not just K9, but also the players of Sinway Esports who are playing the rat game. Sinway was able to knock down few players, but were not able to convert the confirmation points.
True. Hero Extreme Godlike on the right side. Revenant X Park right next to him. And for Revenant X Park, it's not a good fight at all. They should avoid this scuffle. Hero Extreme Godlike is probably waiting to spoil a few games themselves. And Revenant X Park is one of those teams that stands a chance to grab the championship away. The moment Hero Extreme Godlike knows it's Revenant X Park against him, I'm pretty sure they will try to be as annoying as possible. So RNTX just needs to play this one safe, that's it.
The main question is, Hero Extreme Godlike is also coming in from the eastern front, where we have RNTX, who Hero Extreme Godlike is going to lock horns with, but seems like RNTX has grabbed the attention of Hero Extreme Godlike. Do you think this is the good approach for RNTX at this point?
I'm not sure, it depends. If they do find the first knock, maybe it is a good approach. Revenant X Park will be able to get a few points on themselves. And we know, Revenant X Park, even if they do just end up getting a chicken dinner, that's not going to be enough. They need a lot of elimination points as well, coupled with that chicken dinner. So they need to take fights no matter what. And this fight with Hero Extreme Godlike, if they do come out on top, it's a good fight. And those points will definitely help the players of Revenant X Park propel themselves in a decent spot. But at this point, it's not about propelling yourself in a decent spot. It's about propelling yourself on the top. And K9 Esports, they're just personifying perfection. Look at them. They're holding down a small compound. And they're just keeping their position anonymous. They're making sure that no one's really going to be locking horns against him. And K9 Esports is just playing a quiet game.
This is going to be such an important fight for both these teams. Because if K9 gets eliminated, this is going to open a big window for the players of RNTX at this point. But if RNTX lose on to this fight, K9 for sure will become the champion of Master Series Season 4.
True. But there's still Sinway in the race. Even Sinway's got a decent spot to play with. But Sinway unfortunately losing out on one of their men. What happened? Even K9 Esports losing out on Slug. Revenant X Park, now that's going to be the go call being made. They know they've got the man advantage. And if they do manage to eliminate the entirety of K9 Esports, Revenant X Park will have a solid shot at being the champions. They've already got the confirmation. Omega still in the outskirts. He possesses a shotgun, but Omega gets dropped dead. There's still 2 more players standing in the front, but Beast, he's got things under control. Revenant X Park with the man advantage inside of the fight. It gets taken down to a 2-on-1, and K9 Esports have been eliminated from the game. They're on the first spot. Especially when it mattered the most. K9 Esports, they crumbled, but look who is knocking on the doors now. It's Hero Extreme Godlike. And even they want to stop the players of Revenant X Park. No time to reset, my boys. Even Revenant X Park gets eliminated. They will not be your champions as well. Now the fight is between Sinway and K9.
This was the entire plan of Hero Extreme Godlike. They were the first one to take Slug down from the side of K9 Esports. And after that, RNTX rushed onto K9 Esports. And Hero Extreme Godlike was doing a third party. Eventually, when they did realize K9 has been eliminated and RNTX, they are wounded. Hero Extreme Godlike, they striked in at the right moment and made sure to eliminate the players of RNTX as well. Now, it's only Sinway Esports. They have got the circle, but they need the finish points and a chicken dinner if they really want to be in the podium.
Sinway. All the 4 players up in life. For a moment, I thought they lost out on one of the men. He was knocked out, but luckily enough, they do get the revival back up. So it's a good thing. Ninja is still looking good and dandy. As long as Ninja's alive, maybe the hopes are still up as well. This man just pulled off a monstrous clutch against Revenant X Park, and maybe that's one of the main reasons why Revenant X Park is now eliminated. And even they will not be your champions. All the teams in the top 4 have been eliminated in this game, and there's only one team on the 5th spot that's currently alive. And if Sinway snatches a chicken dinner away with an occasion amount of elimination points, maybe they can be your champions. Sinway needs what? Around 8 or 9 elimination points and maybe a chicken dinner as well? That can easily propel them to the first spot if I'm not wrong. Spotting out that man at the front, shots were taken, but that's not enough to get the knockout. Sinway needs to play a picture-perfect game. Everyone needs to be on the same track. Everyone needs to be on the same line.
Sinway, they're still going for the passive approach. I'm not really sure if that is going to help them. But they are eyeing for the winner-winner chicken dinner. Yes, eventually, if they get the chicken dinner, they'll get the finish points as well. Could be the great approach, but Maiji Los Hermanos are also in the adjacent compounds. I love the split which Sinway Esports are having at this point, because if the final circle is also towards the compounds of Siverni,
oh my
they
God,
can actually take advantage of it.
Think about this. If Sinway gets 20 points in this game, they will be tied up with K9 Esports.
But getting 10 finishes with only 5 teams remaining and 19 players is a tedious task even for the players of Sinway Esports.
Minus 4 players. So yeah, for Sinway, they pretty much need to clean out the entirety of the lobby. That's what the game plan should be for Sinway. Can they do it though? My heart's racing, I'm not gonna lie. I'm so hyped. A team from the Challenger Series. This can be a dream run. It can be a Cinderella run. Still a glimmer of hope is alive. Sinway needs 10 elimination points to tie up with K9, and 11 if they want to be the champions. And for K9 Esports, the lead they secured, it was so massive. And the fact that everyone from the top 4 got eliminated in the last game, that was insane too. The moment God's Rain realized their soul right in front of him, they started tossing out so many nades because they knew if they're going to stop the players of Soul, that would of course be the spanner in the works, and Soul will not be the champions anymore. God's Rain just played the spoiler. That's it, straight up.
They definitely did, but look at the amount of finishes which Hero Extreme Godlike is having. 10 finishes. Had they brought up the same game on day 1 of the grand finals, not just day 1, if on the day 2 also, they had brought the same aggression, the same consistency, they could have been in the contestation. But unfortunately, the gameplay came in, the synergy, whatever the issues were fixed, but it was too late for the players of Hero Extreme Godlike. But now Sinway Esports, yes, they still have a very good chance, but the circle has shifted away from the players of Sinway Esports, Maiji Los Hermanos, and it's an open circle, favoring the players of Hero Extreme Godlike. What are the odds that Hero Extreme Godlike or Medal can actually get a chicken dinner in this one?
It doesn't even matter, right? They shouldn't even be part of the conversation. Hero Extreme Godlike, yeah, it does not matter if you get a chicken dinner. You should have played the same way in the first 2 days. Then maybe would have talked about you in the last game. But since you're all the way far back in the overall standings, there's no point in talking about you anymore. But hold on to that thought. Maiji Los Hermanos, evil. And even his teammates are knocked out. Oh no, this is not a good start for Maiji Los Hermanos in the final few moments. Sinway, they've already found the massive advantage. Maiji Los Hermanos, they just want to go for the revival now. Sinway, if they are able to press up on the charge, that's going to be the icing on top of the cake. Exactly what they're looking for. But Vishu, he's only got 3 bullets in the spare. Ammunition is of the essence. And that's what Sinway lacks at this point. But look at that nade toss from Spy. It's going to be on the mark. Sinway, they cannot afford to lose out on players anymore. They need to keep every single player alive and intact. Sinway does not have a lot of ammo. They need to get their hands on a squad wipe and the ammunition as well. Unfortunately, Wishu gets confirmed. It's looking so bad for Sinway. Now down to just a 3-man squad. And with that confirmation, Maiji Los Hermanos knows it's Sinway in the close proximity. Everyone's going to try to make sure that Sinway is not going to be the champions as well now. Everyone's going to try to spoil that game. Rexboy is able to find that one knockout, and that's going to be the confirmation too.
The bigger worries for the players of Sinway Esports are also the players of God's Reign, who are just waiting for Sinway Esports, because it was Neo who was able to get the elimination point secured onto Bishu. But for now, Sinway, their entire focus is onto the players of Maiji Los Hermanos. Spy out in the open at a very low HP has finally been knocked out by Rexboy. This is something which he needs to do, but Rexboy also needs to be a bit careful from the blue himself and from the players of God's Reign as well. Sinway Esports, 3 finishes secured, 3 players still remaining. They have to make a mad dash inside the circle, but Maiji from the backlines, Kalan is also there, which can ruin the game for the players of Sinway Esports.
Sinway's safe as of now, but they need to find themselves inside of the circle, and that's where the real problems will start to strike him. God's Reign, even they've found a casualty on top of themselves, and that's Kalan, who's constantly striking down the players. A nade tossed out in the front in the hopes of finding some sort of a knockout. But is he really going to be able to find the knock? That's my question. Sinway in the back lines as well, trying to take a fight against the players of Hero Extreme Godlike. Even they've found themselves in such a tricky spot. For God's Reign, even they need to push themselves inside of the circle. How are they going to do that? Problems all across the board. Maiji Los Hermanos down to just that one man, Colin. And I'm pretty sure Colin is alive to play a spoiler. That's it.
Main question is for who is going to play the spoiler, for the players of God's Reign or for the players of Sinway Esports, because for Sinway, this match matters the most. 89 points is where they are. Only 7-point difference between Aiko Soul and Sinway Esports. If Sinway gets a chicken dinner, I think they can be on the second spot, but Metal Venom gets a knock onto Jonathan, and Sinway are also approaching the players of Hero Extreme Godlike. Mox right in the crosshairs of Punk. Still surviving, still breathing though.
It was not a good decision from Sinway. They should have took a fight against Hero Extreme Godlike. That was the only way they could have survived. Now they found themselves out in the open, and everyone's going to bite on top of the players of Sinway. It's a feast waiting to be devoured, and Colin from the back, he's the spanner in the works. I told you this. It's not a good position to be in. Sinway. They've lost out on one of the players already, and Hero Extreme Godlike for them. It's the go call now. Final 2 men standing for Sinway. They can't do a lot. Utilities tossed out, and that's going to be Mokes down from God. Ninja, the last man standing for Sinway. He does not even have a lot of HP. The utilities are being tossed right next to him, and he will not stand a single chance. We have our champions for the BGMI Season 4. It will be K9 Esports.
For sure, K9 Esports are the champion, but Hero Extreme Godlike going up against the players of Metal Esports. One decision of the IGL Sinway Esports ruined their chance to be in the podium. Yes, Hero Extreme Godlike, for the fans, gets a winner chicken dinner in the last game, but it was not a good run in the grand finals for this team. But Sinway Esports, had they taken that fight against the players of Hero Extreme Godlike, it could have been a different game, but it is K9 Esports.
Exactly.
इससे पहले मैं कुछ पूछूं, just savor the moment. Guys, 1, 2, 3, 2, no! Once again, just reiterating, the champions of BGMS Season 4, K9 Esports.